Hi, I'm Jamie Barnes, and this is the Professional Counseling Skills video blog. First, I wanted to tell you what I noticed about the counseling skills in the video in general, and then a few specific things. And I'll finish up by telling you why I think this is similar to how I imagine counseling to be. Now, all of the videos showed good attending behaviors. The counselors were sitting face to face with the client and not behind them on a couch. There were no phones ringing, and they weren't taking copious notes. They showed good eye contact and open body language without crossing their arms or legs. They nodded appropriately, and their voice quality, tone, as well as speed were appropriate to the discussion and reflected an interest in what the client had to say. Laughter was used a few times and seemed appropriate. Now, the clients talked more than the counselors, and that's a good thing. And the counselors tracked along with various topics, but didn't get sidetracked. Now, I noticed in the invitational video, the counselor invited the anxious man to discuss that topic that caused him the most anxiety, the car accident. She was prepared to go there with him and noticed when he became anxious and reflected that back to him. Uh, and she showed some appropriate brief touching, I think, that really connected to the client at that moment. Also, in the Reflecting Feelings video, the counselor used open-ended questions to get where he wanted to go with the client and correctly identified the client's feelings most of the time. He reflected them back to her by repeating them or using similar words. And this was validated by the client again, except for when he talked about her brother. But particularly in his summary, she validated his reflecting of feelings. And then in the reflecting of meaning video, the counselor was able to probe deeper than the feelings of frustration and anger of the client to discover the underlying core values that he holds that were within conflict. And now I believe the counselor was culturally sensitive by asking about his cultural background and how that played a role, and he acknowledged it in his counseling. Now, I imagine this to be similar to counseling in a one-on-one situation, but probably group counseling looks a little bit different than this. But the skills can be used anywhere, even at work with coworkers or even at a church social. So those are my thoughts and my opinions.